What's up, everybody?
Got the outlaw.
Are you an outlaw?
I'm outlawing it every day.
Welcome to the before picture. Look, I found some before footage. You know how I told you there wasn't any?
Yeah, I love it.
Here it is.
Boom, look at it.
The before of before I ruined the Suburban.
Whatever. The before it became modified.
So yeah, I mean, there's
There we go.
some rust right in there on the hitch.
Look at that. The hitch looks so much better now. I just gotta say, for real, like you restored that. You definitely did a facelift on the hitch.
It's gonna be a few episodes before they see that. We didn't get that far on this one.
I like that. I like that you can see those right now. Here, them are glued on, everybody. Just so we're clear, them
The
glued
license
on.
plate, the license plate lights, the little clip things. I don't know what they are called, but it's those things right there. They're like, I don't know, somebody epoxied them on because they broke. I guess they broke at some point.
That's probably when they were like trying to get shit off the top, standing on
Maybe
which hand? Yeah, this
somebody stood on them.
stood on it. Oh man, don't step on my bumper. You're gonna break them off.
Maybe,
I just see a dad say it.
and then they break them off.
What are we doing today? Talk to us.
So, so we got the bumper build. We're gonna do basically I'm making a spare tire carrier, so it will swing out spare tire carrier.
Swing out spare tire carrier for the truck house.
So, and I stole this design fair and square from a YouTuber, Offroad Grind.
Offroad
So-
Grind. This is your shout out. Boom, boom.
I mean, if this ever gets big, which it probably won't,
Now you can't
go
hate.
give him a
Shout out.
subscribe or whatever. 'Cause
Ring his bell.
he did this, or he stole it from somebody.
Give
I don't
him the
know.
thumbs.
He seemed pretty smart though, so he probably did this.
He probably did the math. Like, what's that guy
Yeah.
up there in Montana that killed everyone with the killdozer?
I don't remember.
Yeah, but he did a lot of welding math.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, he had a muffler shop, didn't he?
Yeah, he had a muffler shop.
And then the establishment came over. And
Best one.
I don't know. I've heard some dissenting opinions about that dude. Apparently, he was kind of a dickhead.
You know,
That's what people say. He was kind of hard to deal with.
I heard a lot of different things too, but if you were like in his friend circle, he would take his shirt off and give it to you though.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like
But you know those people that are just hard to get along with,
Right.
and then they go try to do government things, and the government is hard to
the
get along
government
with.
is third
You know what I
grade,
mean? So then
yeah.
you just like end up with two people clashing, and then you got Killdozer.
But he was also a government guy before though. Remember, he was ex-Navy.
I don't know. This
Oh,
is
yeah.
just what I heard. I haven't.
Oh yeah. But I don't know. It's kind of how. But anyway, so back to the build. So above your head, I wish we had a draw on the screen capabilities.
Yeah, I've thought about how to do that, and
Because this would be really cool if we could be like, we're going to draw the bumper
yeah,
here,
there might be a software or something that.
and
well,
over your head you would do the circle where the
I
spare
mean,
tires
we
are
can
gonna
just
go.
point, but yeah. So we're gonna have a spare tire swing out because this is a hatchback, right? So that hatch needs to open, and so the spare tire carrier needs to move out of the way. So basically, I didn't film it for some reason, but I took all the plastics off first, and then I unbolted the bumper, and then me and Declan took it off of the truck.
Heck yeah. I love when the safety supervisor gets out there. Shows us how to get it done.
I gotta go get the keys and unlock the truck and open the hatch here. Because I thought that I needed to open the hatches to get it out of the way, so I didn't
Nice.
ding it up or whatever, so.
Pause
But
it.
there it is.
Look at that. I really, yeah, look at that. Now you can really see how the restoration that's about to come, especially on the...
Yeah, it's all rusted under there. But yeah, I don't know if they can see that glue or not, but yeah, the license plate lights there are glued in. It's right next to your head.
right next to my head.
Yeah. They probably can't. I had to grind it's not even glue, it's epoxy.
Right.
So I had to grind the epoxy off. So the first thing I did is I got a spindle, and I got it just on Amazon. It was on that dude's like list,
Things
Offroad
to
Grind. He did a whole list of all the parts he used. I only used some of them, so I didn't fully do what he did, but pretty much. So I got this spindle, and you just basically weld the bottom into some structure in the bumper. So the first thing I did was draw a hole
Oh yeah, look at
a
that.
circle, and then I cut it out with the jigsaw. Just get a metal blade and
Metal blade, yeah, it's
some
time to
safety glasses, and
get after it.
wait till it kicks on you a couple times and swear a lot, and
I like
can do
that this table throughout this whole build. If y'all have a lifetime membership or something, tell them to subscribe. We need a new table.
Yeah, that table won't die.
It's still not dead. So lifetime shout out.
I mean, I've sawed through it. See that right there?
Yeah,
That's
right.
that's where the saw went through it. That line, the circular saw,
Circular
just
saw.
go right through it. So,
Look how that spindle fit
so
though.
yeah,
The
I made a
jigsaw
hole.
made it nice.
So that's the other. This is the other view, the back view of it.
Right.
It's just gonna go in right like that.
Nice.
So that's all that will poke out of the bumper, or at least on that side, and that'll be like the pivot point, right, to where it will swing out. So
Yeah.
then I took some of this square tubing that I had and cut a bunch, I just basically picked like a kind of a random length. It's a little bit longer than what I need, and
Right.
just so that I could get it in there to mark it.
Also, sub note, we have to put the spare tire up behind the bumper because the contraption that holds it up died.
Yeah, so the what do they call that? A hoist? The
Yeah,
spare tire
hoist.
hoist broke, and I didn't really like it anyways. I don't think anybody does.
No one likes those. They're only good for cocaine smuggling.
So I could have bought a new one for $35. That's and instead what I decided to do was spend like 40 or 50 hours and like $150 doing this.
No. My time is worth a lot more. We're almost to the $600 mark.
So basically it's gonna go in like that. Now what you can't see is right behind this bracket right here is another bracket that bolts right to the frame. So I'm going from the frame on that bracket over there into the spindle with this square tube.
Right here. Look, and we got super safety involved here to make sure that
Yeah.
the mathematics are correct.
And then right above where Tyler's hand was, in there somewhere, I also welded some more supports to the actual bumper, but I didn't put that in the cut.
Actually, they
So
went this way in there.
yeah, so basically I just put that in there, and then I strengthened it with a bunch of like side ties, and
That way
You
it
know.
doesn't like chicken arm on him. See?
I think I
Here we
welded
go.
it to that bracket that you can see too.
Look, here's some
Yeah,
welding.
so here's some welding. He's basically just welded it in there.
Again, shout out our welding table. 1,000
Yeah.
degrees.
Plastic
1,000.
welding table holding up. Only caught on fire once that I remember. So
Oh,
basically,
dang, look at that.
I haven't welded this, and then I got this 3x3 square tube for the actual part. I think the dude used a 2x4 piece on his, on
Right.
an off-road grind, but this is just, basically, instead of going to the metal store, I was going to go to the metal store on a Sunday.
Right.
And then I realized the metal store was closed. So I just got on my local ad, like Craigslist type website, and I found some really cheap metal, but that meant I didn't get to choose what size it was.
Yeah, you're like, it was the grabbing bag. If you got 70
Yeah.
bucks, show up behind the Wally Mart.
Right.
Boom, metal.
So this is what I ended up with, and this will work. I just ended up, since it wasn't a 2x4, I pie cut both ends so that it would shrink down to the size of the spindle. So that's
Yeah.
what I'm doing right now, is I'm pie cutting this end here.
Look at it. It's really high quality carbon steel, too. It's really high. It's got to be 440.
I don't know what that means, but it welded a lot easier than the other stuff. So.
That's why, because it was really had a lot of really good carbon in it.
So before my brother brought over a bunch of Sharpies, this is the last Sharpie. I broke this Sharpie, so I don't know if you saw right before that, but I was using a pick. See that? So I went ahead and grabbed a pick, and I just scratched where my mark is. And then I grabbed my last Sharpie that doesn't work.
That doesn't work. It was dying.
Plus, I'm using black Sharpie on black metal.
It illuminates. I don't know.
Not really.
Can you not see it?
No,
I see it shining all the time.
I just kind of guessed. So then I did that pie cut, and then I beat it with a hammer a lot. And then I clamped it. and beat it some more for some reason. And then welded it.
Nice, look at that. Oh, hey, look, there's my dickhead ass showing back up, standing in the way again.
So here's what I ended up with on the weld.
Nice, look at how good that is. Right down to the dimensions.
Yeah, so now you can see why I did that. It's basically to bring that in so that it's the right size for that right there.
That way it fits on the spindle better, everybody. Look at that.
So I grabbed the spindle there and I put it on there and I drew a circle.
Right.
And what I did is I measured in from the end. I didn't show it so that I could do it on both sides.
Right.
So the top and the bottom, I measured in the same amount. Then I put that on the mark, and then I drew a circle. Then I just took the grinder and went ahead and cut my circle out.
Went at it. I like that. And then also, like to mention too, how you measure twice and are only happen to grind once.
Yeah, is that how that works?
Yeah. Now that we got it, now we have an example of it.
Grind twice and measure once.
I thought that this part was really good, and I probably was because you did measure it accurately. It looks really good.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, as we go through this, I mean, the rooftop pod didn't turn out that well, but I think this turned out better than most things I do. You know, the rooftop pod turned out worse than most things I do. This turned out better than most things I do.
I don't know what you hate. I think it's the bomb. I would rock it on top of my car.
Yeah.
Except I don't have a moon hole, so.
I mean, we could make one. I have a Sawzall.
Have a Sawzall, yeah.
Or a grinder or whatever.
Look at that, here it comes.
Have cutting implements. Yeah, so I just basically went at it and was patient enough, surprisingly, that it somehow turned out pretty round. Usually I'm not that patient with this stuff. So I just like go at it and then it looks like crap.
Well, I think mainly because you spent so much time pieing that end. I wouldn't want to jack it up either.
Yeah, I don't know. I spent a lot more time on this than pieing the end. But the pie cutting the end was like really short.
Right. Well, you had all that ladder experience.
Yeah, I guess.
Comment below about how to cut metal. Comment below about how to do this a little bit quicker because we got 2 more to do.
Do we?
Yeah, I guarantee Gerard wants one.
Maybe.
Yeah. He probably wants more spikes on his.
Well,
though.
he can grind, can he? I'll let you guys grind
the next one.
The next one, and I'll film it.
Heck yeah, I'm all about that.
And look, there's a fire extinguisher.
I know,
right
we got
there.
2 of them now. There's actually.
Well, now I have 5. The neighbor's house burned down, so I bought fire extinguishers and put them everywhere. So there's the
apartment burned down the
hole.
too.
Yeah, I saw that too. There's the hole there.
Nice, look at
It's
that.
fairly round, considering it's, just me with a grinder. I mean, yeah, I don't know how a better way to do this would be. You could, a lot of people don't do round, even if they're welding something square to pipe. They just cut like a triangle out like. So basically, instead of it being round, it would just be like this, and it's easier because you just cut, and then they just bridge the gap with weld. But I was kind of trying to leave this weld.
I've seen body guys use a handheld air metal sander for it instead of a grinder.
Oh yeah.
And it just chomps the metal up. I don't know what.
Well, they have notch cutters.
Well, but I've
if
seen
you were
guys,
actually gonna do this
Yeah.
a lot, you could use a notch cutter.
Well, I was
I'm
watching a
sure.
dude that does frames, and he was making these circles for the pipe, and he had this little metal, and it was just a metal band sander, and he just eats it up.
Right. They have they're like little sanders that they put in. They just body guys use them.
Right.
They're like a little teeny belt sanders.
Yeah, little tiny teeny. And
so they can just
they gotta
can
be
just
expensive.
go in and get these little areas, Anyway, so I cut a piece of old metal that I had
Make sure
there.
It's not too bad.
Yeah.
Not too burning hot.
I think that came off of your Durango.
Yes, it did.
hitch.
The Durango pays.
Yeah, so Tyler had this Durango he sent in the junkyard, so I took the hitch off it. And I cut the hitch up and put it on my Prius. I welded it back together, and I had a bunch of leftovers, so this was part of that. So basically, I just made a cap end piece for the other side. So one side has the round that I cut out.
And welded.
This is the other side.
Nice.
I pie cut the other side as well, but I didn't show it here. And then I just capped it with this piece here.
And then we filled the whole thing with helium to help make it lighter. That way it doesn't dip on Clyde's bumper.
Well, I thought about making an air tank out of it. That's what we could do.
Right, tap it.
Yeah, tap
Really
it.
really test
Except
your
that
weld.
I don't know if I'm that good of a welder is the problem.
We just got
Find a
epoxy.
bunch of holes. Yeah. You think epoxy will hold a
I
like
know it
100 psi?
Yeah, they do it on some tanks.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be nice to have air.
I thought about a high lift jack. Comment below if you want to donate a high lift jack to this project so we can make another mount for one.
So that we can really be overlanders.
Overlanders!
All I need is traction boards and a high lift
Traction
jack.
boards and a high lift jack. That's what's going to go on the other side of the tree hut. Comment below. Boom, boom. Donations,
Yeah.
donations.
So then I basically just ground that smooth so that it kind of looked like it was one piece or whatever.
So that way when it
That's
whips
what that
out and
looks like.
bonks you, you
And
get
then
a
I don't
perfect
know
square
what
bruise.
happened. I thought I filmed this, but I didn't. There's no footage of me welding this.
Really?
So, yeah, I don't know where it is. If I find it, maybe I'll put it in another video. But there's the weld, how it turned out on that one. So,
In case if you guys wonder, sometimes I help film and I just push record. I don't know how to use technology. I apologize.
yeah, I don't think you were here when I welded that. So,
Sometimes you weld on your own too.
yeah, I think it's my bad. And sometimes I just don't turn the camera on. You know, it's so annoying. It's sometimes you just want to work, but
Right.
like I want to film and capture this stuff, but it's just sometimes it takes away from the fun of it, you know. Like you come out, the camera's dead. So
Right.
then I have to go find a charger. There's no chargers because if you have like any dads out there, you know
They
what I'm
all
saying?
know.
The new version of stepping on a Lego is everybody steals your charger.
Yeah. or you trip on it, you eat crap on it. Ooh.
So no more Legos. No, there's no more chargers.
Yeah, I stepped on a
because they all
Type-C
broke theirs.
right in my foothole, for real.
You have a foothold.
Well, I
You
do
should probably go
now.
get that checked out
Don't tell me what to
by a
do.
medical professional. You're not supposed to have a foothold, is what I'm saying. There shouldn't be any holes in your feet. Like I've got like 7 holes in my feet from welding burn marks. That's another thing too, is I'm sitting there welding with my hand, no
Right.
glove, and my hand doesn't get burned at all. It got a little bit of like arc flash,
Oh,
but
yeah, a little bit of tan.
but then all like the spatter sprays off and goes in my shoe and
Right.
burns through my sock into my feet.
Boom, right off that lifetime table into the shoe.
Like, why didn't it hit my hand?
I saw it. I was going to step on it. I didn't want
Yeah.
it.
So that happened that time when you were there, but the other time it happened was worse.
Oh, yeah.
And it like left holes. But anyway, so this is like unrelated footage, but it shows where and what we're going for there. So you see
Right.
the bumper and then the swing out part up there. So
Look at it while it's chrome, y'all. At that bed frame,
Yeah.
don't ask questions, okay?
and there's some extra holes in the bumper, but that's a teaser for the future episodes, I guess.
Ooh.
And also, like, I had to like jump back and forth on editing because there's like footage. We jumped all over the place with different projects. That's why
Right.
there's holes in it. And then that doesn't have any more progress. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
And then there's a half of a dryer taken apart.
yeah, and there's bed frame on the table.
See,
So all these are mysteries that you'll find out later.
We have a sauce going on, y'all. Tune
It's
in.
just like my chaotic mind, like trying to do 45 things at once and failing at all
with
of
the
them.
outlaw.
But maybe
involved.
eventually it'll come together and I'll go camping.
Camping's gonna happen, y'all. Tune in.
All right.
I like that grinder wheel just showed up on the table.
I know. Well, that's because I was throwing things around to do this other project. The failure. There's a big failure coming, so if you're into that sort of thing, then stick around, I
Man,
guess.
We worked hard.
It's a lot of hours into
Work.
a failed project and a giveaway. I mean, so yeah, stick around. We'll have that coming up. So, but we made something. Yeah. Anyways.
Coming up, y'all. Submit now.
All right. I guess that's it for this one. So stay tuned for the next one. Subscribe.
Give us some tips.
if you want to see a professional do this, go over to Offroad Grind. Let me make sure that's what his channel is. I'll try to remember to link it below too, but Offroad Grind, because he's done this on a few different vehicles, not just Chevys. He did it like on a Lexus.
Oh, dang.
So there's a few different, he's got probably a few different videos that could help you out. I think the Lexus might be a little bit different design, so it might work better for your application if you were going to do this.
Right.
But it did turn out well. I thought it was pretty good, so yeah. But anyways, subscribe if you haven't, and
Tell your grandma, please.
tell your grandma to come subscribe and watch our movies. You know,
Grandma's always got tips for their
grandpas
grandkids.
like welders.
You know, there's one out back.
All right. Peace out.
Peace out.